Hey guys, today I'm here to give you my quick thoughts on Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 4. Now I thought I was gonna do my regular reviews, my regular long reviews, but I realized that I just mess up a lot of them and I feel like I can, if I can't, I want people to enjoy my reviews, so I'm just gonna do my quick thoughts. I'm gonna try to keep them between 10 and 15 minutes long, and yeah. So, okay, first of all, um, Jorah is taking Tyrion to Daenerys, and now for all you people who are like, what queen are they talking about? It's obvious, Daenerys, duh. Why would Jorah take Tyrion to Cersei? He doesn't owe Cersei anything, so this is a confirmation. Jorah's taking Tyrion to Daenerys, and there's like, and I really enjoyed this scene. There's like Tyrion like uses his wit and figures out why Jorah is not with Daenerys. Like this is one of the many reasons I love Tyrion. He's just so like smart, and he just figures out things. I just freaking love it. Okay, the next part is Jaime and Bronn arrive in Dorne, and when they arrive at their destination, they are found by 4 Dornish riders, and so they fight them all off. Bronn kills 3 of them, and Jaime kills up another one of them, and his golden hand ends up coming in handy, which that was great. So yeah, that was really don't have much to say about that. But I don't like that Jaime is the one mad at Tyrion. It should be the other way around. Like, Jaime's mad at Tyrion for killing Tywin. I'm like, ugh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Season 4, but they really messed up with that. Like, the whole Jaime freeing Tyrion thing. They messed up with how... I still haven't read A Storm of Swords. But I know how it's supposed to end, and I'm like, wow, that would have been awesome. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but now that this episode has happened, and we now know, like, that Jaime's the one that mad at Tyrion, now I'm like, ugh, they had a great opportunity to do that in Season 4, but they messed it up, and now Jaime's the one mad at Tyrion. I just don't like that, but really, I don't have any other complaints about that stuff. So yeah, great stuff. And now we get to the stuff in King's Landing. Mace Tyrell is going to the Iron Bank of Bravos. Doesn't happen in the books, but I'm actually okay with this. It'll be interesting. The Faith Militant is now going to be a thing again, and for those of you who don't know, the Faith Militant is this group, and they used to be this group, and they had a lot to say when it came to like all the religion stuff. And they spoke out against like the Targaryens, like the whole wedding brother to sister stuff, which was interesting. And then eventually it was disbanded by, I think, Maegor the Cruel, and it's been gone for over 200 years, and now it's coming back, and yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And then we see the Sparrows are attacking, which there's this scene which we see that the symbol of the Faith of the Seven, like, being carved into Lancel's head. That was like, whoa, crazy. And basically it ends up Loras is captured, and because this doesn't happen in the books, but I don't think they're not sticking with Loras' storyline in the books, so now I'm like, he could end up being killed off, and I really don't want to see that. I like Loras. And then, of course, we see Margaery's mad at Tommen. So Tommen goes to Cersei about it, and Cersei's like, I didn't do it. And then Tommen tries to go to the High Sparrow, and that doesn't work out. But I do like we see the difference between Tommen and Joffrey. Like, when names were being called at Tommen, he like didn't like get angry and attack. He was like, no, let's go. I don't want to use any violence. And like, I love Tommen. I just freaking love Tommen, and he's also really adorable. But yeah, so the stuff in King's Landing I really enjoyed. The only thing I don't like is that how they're making Margaery kind of like a bitch, and I'm like, I don't like that. She wasn't like that in the books. Don't get me wrong, I love Natalie Dormer. She's one of my favorite actresses, And she's really good as Marjorie Tyrell, but I don't like how her character is turning this evil bitch. Like, she's kind of starting to turn into a Cersei, kind of. So yeah, I don't like that. Okay. The next stuff, the stuff at the wall, I really liked. We just see Jon being more of a commander, and they're trying to recruit men, and Jon reluctantly is a better word, signs for Roose Bolton to send some of his men to the wall, and like obviously Jon is still mad about what Roose Bolton did, and it's like you can't blame him, but Sam's like, well, you're a member of the Night's Watch. You can't concern yourself with that, you know? And it's like, it sucks that Jon at the moment can't really do anything about it, but Sam is right. They're men of the Night's Watch. They can't take sides. It's really unfortunate, but that's what they swore in their oaths. So, yeah. And then there's a scene between Melisandre and Jon, and she basically is trying to seduce him, but he rejects her, and he says he still loves Ygritte. Like, of course. Like, the Starks, they're like one women kind of men. Like, you know, Ned with Cat, Robb with Talisa, and now Jon with Ygritte. I hope Jon finds love again. I hope he finds love again, you know. But I don't know if it's gonna happen. And yeah, when Melisandre leaves the room, she says, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." I freaking love that. I mean, because we've only heard Ygritte say it, and then when Melisandre said it, and she's also a redhead. That was hilarious. I loved it. And the last part this is my favorite scene at the wall. The scene between Stannis and Shireen, and you know, and Stannis tells her a story of how she got the grayscale and how he was like, they were like, just send her to the Stony Men so she can rot out and spend the rest of her days there, you know, with the grayscale. But no, he's like, he hired all the maesters and apothecaries he could because, you know, and it ends with like Stannis like, "You're my daughter and I love you." And they hug, and it was like, that was such a sweet scene. It didn't happen in the books, but I don't even care. I loved that scene so much. It was so touching. It makes me like Stannis even more. That was a freaking amazing scene. I loved it so much. I mean, there are some great scenes in this series that did not happen in the books. The scene between Robert and Cersei didn't happen. Like in season 1 when Robert was talking about Lyanna Stark, that didn't happen, but it was amazing. The Arya Tywin scenes, they didn't happen in the books, you know. And this, like, but yeah, I freaking loved this scene. I loved it. It was so freaking touching. Okay, the next step we get is Sansa at the Crypt of Winterfell. She's at Lyanna Stark's grave, and actually she finds the feather that Robert Baratheon left there for Lyanna, and that was sweet. And then we get Littlefinger comes in, and we actually get the story of the tourney of Harrenhal, which is great because we've seen it in the books, but we haven't seen it yet in the show. That was nice to see it. And then Littlefinger basically tells her that he's returning to King's Landing, and Sansa's like, "You're leaving me here with these bad people?" And I'm like thinking, yeah, why are you leaving her? And I mean, and it didn't happen in the books, but I'm actually excited about seeing that. And basically, and then Littlefinger tells her what's going on, tells her about Stannis, and basically is like, if things go well, you're gonna end up being the Wardeness of the North. And I'm like, whoa, because Sansa's the last known living Stark. I mean, Ned, Robb, and Cat, they're dead. Talisa's dead. Grey Worm's dead. The Stark army is dead. Bran and Rickon, everyone believes they're dead. Arya's presumed dead. You know, so Sansa's Benjen Stark is nowhere to be seen. So Sansa's really the last living Stark, and so rightfully it is hers, you know, since everyone else is presumed dead or presumed dead. So yeah. So that'll be interesting. Okay, the next part we get is Ellaria is riding to meet the Sand Snakes, and okay, we do get a scene, we do get a part of Obara telling them about how, like, Oberyn claimed her as his daughter. That was a great story, but I don't know about these sand snakes. I don't know if I like the casting. I mean, the Obara sand casting is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. The Nym sand casting, we didn't really get much from her, so I'm like 50-50 with the Nym sand casting. I'm just like, eh. I mean, she kind of does look like Nymeria Sand, but not with the braid and all, and the whip, but okay. Tyene Sand is Ellaria and Oberyn's daughter. What? What? No. Okay, it's the older four sand snakes: Obara, Nymeria, Tyene, and Sarella. They're all Oberyn's bastard daughters, from different women. And then the younger four sand snakes: Loreza, Obella, Dorea, and Aelia. They're all those four are by Ellaria and Oberyn. Tyene's mother is a Septa. I just like, why'd they make Tyene Ellaria's daughter? I don't get that. And also, I don't like the Tyene sand casting. She doesn't look like Tyene. Tyene's supposed to have like long blonde hair. She's just, yeah, I already have major problems with these sand snakes. Already, they're just, Obara Sand's alright, but Nym, and especially Tyene Sand, I'm just like, what? And also, I don't want to sound mean, but this Tyene Sand, she's not hot enough. Like, Tyene's supposed to be like really like sexy and, you know, like beautiful, and just like, not saying the actress they got is ugly or anything, but she's not hot enough to be Tyene Sand, you know? And Nymeria, the actress they got, she's not hot enough to be Nymeria Sand. I'm just like, I mean, we've barely seen them, and we're obviously going to see more of them throughout the season, but I'm just, right now, these first impressions I've got, I'm not liking it. I'm not liking these sand snakes right now, and I freaking love the sand snakes in the books. Like, seriously, they're amazing. So, but I'm still, like, I'm holding out hope until the end of the season to make my final judgments on these sand snakes. But for right now, the Obara sand casting is fine. The Nym sand casting is 50-50, but the Tyene sand casting, I don't like. I really don't like it at all. Okay. Now, this last section, yeah. In Meereen? Yeah. So, yeah, first of all, there's this great scene between, Ser Barristan and Daenerys, and Ser Barristan is telling her about Rhaegar, this great scene, you know, I liked that. And then, we get a little scene between, Hitstar, Zolorok, and Daenerys, and Hitstar, he still wants the fighting pits to be open, and Daenerys is like, no, and he's like, these are our cultures, you know, it's like, come on, Daenerys, obviously you're the queen, but this is an eastern, like, city, you're from the west, like, the eastern and western minds, they don't mix, you know, and it's like, come on, you've conquered the city, but at least let them keep their traditions. So yeah, now this last part, basically the Sons of the Harpy attack, and some of the Unsullied have to fight. There are amazing fight scenes, like the Unsullied style of fighting is so amazing. And like all the Unsullied members get killed one by one, and then Grey Worm ends up being the last one left, and then Ser Barristan, he's like, you know, he basically has the afternoon off, and he's walking in, and he sees the fighting, and he helps Grey Worm fight with those Sons of the Harpies, but Ser Barristan is like cut down and then killed, and Grey Worm, who had also been suffered wounds, he is cut down too, and they both fall. Sir Barristan dies, Grey Worm lies on the floor, and now he's dead. And yeah, my hands were over my mouth. Like, I thought, tears, like, I thought I was gonna start crying. And I'm feeling so many emotions right now about Grey Worm and Sir Barristan dying in the same episode at the same time. Like, they're not supposed to die in the books, but if they were gonna kill them off, at least, like, maybe one in one episode and one in another episode, not at the same time in the same episode. Like, I'm really, like, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm like, what the hell? I'm just like, why? 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 At both at the same time? Like, I'm really upset. I mean, they said there were going to be character deaths that weren't in the books, but these at the same time? No! I really like Grey Worm. I really like Sir Barristan. Both are great characters, so they're both loyal to Daenerys, and now it's like, why? I'm really upset about this. Like, I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm freaking sad, I'm pissed, oh, like, seriously, you should have seen me, like, I was pissed, my fists were, like, pounding on the couch, I was just, oh my gosh, I'm so upset about this right now, like, seriously. So, yeah. Okay, so overall, this was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. The only things I didn't like were the sand snakes and the whole Jaime being mad at Bronn thing, the whole Margaery being a bitch thing, and the fact that we lost Grey Worm and Sir Barristan. So yeah, it was a great episode. I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. There hasn't been a 5 out of 5 star episode yet this season, and I'm sure, and next week's episode looks amazing. I mean, we're going to see more stuff at Winterfell. Stannis is leaving for Winterfell. Daenerys is dealing with the loss of Sir Barristan and Grey Worm. Tyrion is sees a dragon, which is amazing. Drogon. So yeah, it looks amazing. And finally, this is the last of the leaked episodes. Now we're all on the same playing field. Yes, finally. So yeah, and also, of course, I would do my little funeral service. Rip Sir Barristan, you were awesome. You were a badass fighter, really honorable dude. I'm gonna miss you. Rip Grey Worm, I really liked your character. You were a good guy, and I'm really sad that you're dead. So yeah. Goodbye, Sir Barristan and Grey Worm. You will be missed. You were not supposed to die in the show, but they killed you off in the show. But for you non-book readers, just be relieved to know that they're not dead in the books. So, yeah. Okay, so that's my thoughts on this episode. Really good episode. Just other than a few nitpicks and these deaths, I'm completely happy with this episode. So, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.